Hey everybody, Ashley Page here. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's educational vlog. Our title today is Americans are carrying much more of the tariff costs than foreign nations are. According to Tom Fairless of the Wall Street Journal, separate research findings conducted by three highly regarded institutions have independently verified this key fact. Americans, us here, not foreigners, are carrying almost the entire cost of the new tariffs, which I know is a little surprising. Economists at Harvard Business School, also the Budget Lab at Yale University, and the highly regarded Germany-based Kiel Institute for the World Economy show that only a small fraction of tariff costs were being borne by foreign producers. The Kiel Institute, for example, analyzed 4 trillion, that's with a T, of shipments between January of 2024 and November of last year, 2025. Foreign exporters only absorbed about 4% of the burden of last year's U.S. tariff increases by lowering their home prices. American consumers and importers absorbed about 96%, overwhelming amount of it. So far, rather than acting as a tax, if you will, on foreign producers, the tariffs have functioned more as a consumption tax on Americans. Fortunately, so far, U.S. inflation, despite that, remains modest. The Harvard Business School research shows that only about 20% of the tariff cost increases had created higher costs to the individual consumer directly 6 months after they were introduced. Most of the price increases to date have been eaten, in quotes, by American retailers and importers. So how are tariffs creating leverage for the United States in light of the data we just shared? One phrase, trade volume, not pricing, volume. 2 examples of this. First example, German exports to the United States, which had risen precipitously in recent years, fell sharply in 2025. Second example, Indian exporters maintained their prices but reduced the volume of shipments to the U.S. in favor of more going to, say, the European Union, Canada, and Australia. Simply put, it does impact how much foreigners produce and where and how they sell those goods. And if U.S. tariffs reach a 50% level, which you've seen kind of the shock value of that, it simply becomes unprofitable for many foreign producers to sell here, which is what gets their attention. So even though the price dynamic on tariffs is not favoring the U.S. right now, the volume dynamic is. And in summary, the ultimate U.S. leverage in this situation is that we are by far the largest market for goods in the world, and all foreign producers want to remain active here if they can. Therefore, they are willing to cut aggressive deals over time to do so. So we hope that you've enjoyed this information, which is a little bit counter to maybe some you may be hearing. As always, please reach out to us on any social media platform. Always glad to hear from you. You're welcome to call me or any of the guys on the portfolio team for extra information on this topic or others. Hope you have a great week. Thanks.